Throughout the war, various paintings and artworks were looted by Nazis during World War II. Although many missing pieces have been found, there are multiple pieces that are still missing today. For example, the Murdo by Tamara de Lempicka has still not been found after its disappearance during the war, and should be recovered due to the importance to the culture and the artist it represents. Before the war, Adolf Hitler was like every other 16-year-old teenager in 1905. In high school, he greatly stood out as a talented artist, but was viewed as a lazy and uncooperative student. He later dropped out of high school and refused to work. Although he spent the next few years unmotivated, he still dreamed of becoming an artist. He later applied to attend a prestigious art school called the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts. To his surprise, he was rejected because they believed his art showed lack of talent. He had little depth and creativity to his artwork, which was no match for the other applicants. This greatly devastated him. Years later, when he became a tyrant, the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts and many victims of his cruel leadership would soon wonder if giving Hitler an opportunity to pursue his happiness would have saved many innocent lives and saved many valuable art pieces. During World War II, Hitler reigned as the leader of Germany's Nazi Party and is still known today as one of the most powerful, brutal, and notorious dictators during the 20th century. During the war, Hitler destroyed everything in his path by burning buildings, tearing apart innocent families, and much more. Hitler not only destroyed towns and innocent Jewish families, but he also stripped away any valuable form of art that they owned. Depending on what he deemed valuable, he would keep for his personal collection or send to be put into German art museums. He even would destroy pieces that he believed were decadent or thought were not valuable pieces to him or German culture. This ruthless attitude towards other nations' cultural importance was clearly seen during World War II. Hitler and his army had no respect for the rightful owners of the art, and their greed had grown with every piece they acquired. For example, Hitler torched multiple Poland cultural treasures. He even tried to destroy Warsaw's royal castle, which was a symbol of their identity. He would do this by drilling holes throughout the castle to then insert sticks of dynamite to destroy the castle. These heartless acts were also seen in Krakow, which is home of the famous altar at St. Mary's Church. It was dismantled and stripped away of its major aspects to the point that they believed they could no longer pray without these valuable pieces intact. Although the Germans realized they were stripping away major pieces of culture and stealing valuables that families treasured, they still believed it was okay because in their eyes it was the Germans' property and should be returned to their homeland. Over the years, many of these valuable pieces that were stolen have either turned up or been returned to their rightful owners. Although this is true for multiple cases, this was not the case for one special piece, which was the Murdo by Tamara de Lempicka. The artist, Tamara, was a Polish painter who had worked on various pieces of art in the United States and France as well. Tamara was born in Warsaw and she attended a boarding school in Switzerland. Her family was well off, so she was financially able to do a lot more than other artists from her area. Her father was also very wealthy and her mother was a Polish socialite. Her father had disappeared from Tamara's life, and we are led to believe that it was due to suicide. Because of this, Tamara had emphasized through her art that she was of Polish descent in honor of him. She also had the opportunity to spend a summer with her grandmother in Italy, which gave her inspiration for her beautiful art and inspired her love for art and interest in painting. She had also lived what was called a bohemian lifestyle, which was filled with very crazy habits and parties and in turn influenced her sexuality. Although for a short period of time she had stopped painting, her interest in art was reignited around the 1960s. During this time, she specialized in the style of Art Deco, which is a style of visual arts that had begun in France a little before the start of World War I, that was characterized by precise and bold geometric shapes and strong colors. This style had impacted different aspects of life, like the creation of buildings, jewelry, fashion, and much more during this time. Tamara had drawn the attention of a numerous number of members of a high-class society, and her artwork was also a major advocate for women artists during her time period. She was known for her numerous nude paintings of women that were filled with graphic imagery and bright colors. This piece by Tamara was owned by Dr. Pierre Bouchard and was taken from his private collection in his home in France during the war. The piece depicted a graphic painted image of two nude women laying side by side. Although the original has still not been found and returned to the owner's family, they have been able to make recreations of the piece, which was done by an artist named Factum Arte. This was because they luckily found an 80-year-old image of the painting and were able to recreate the painting with the exact colors. Although there is some documentation of this artwork, it still does not have the same value of the original piece and does little justice to represent the artistry of Tamara de Lempicka and the culture it represented, which is why this piece desperately needs to be reunited within the art world for the sake of both art history and the history of the very influential artist it represents.